Alright, let me tell you, some discoveries don't just knock on your door, they practically blow it off its hinges. This was one of those. Deep in a rugged, windswept plateau, a local shepherd stumbled upon something truly extraordinary. He wasn't looking for lost civilizations or ancient mysteries, he was just trying to find a lost goat. But what he found was an anomaly. A strange subsidence in the earth that hinted at something vast, lying just beneath the surface. The initial reports were sketchy, almost unbelievable. Whispers of massive stone blocks, perfectly fitted, buried deep underground. Most people would dismiss it, but a small, dedicated team of archaeologists, led by Dr. Aris Thorne and Dr. Lena Petrova, decided these whispers were worth chasing. Thorne, a man who lives and breathes ancient enigmas, and Petrova, who can decipher the faintest echoes of lost languages, were the perfect duo for this. They assembled a rugged crew, a mix of seasoned excavators, geologists, and a few brave souls like myself. Getting to the site itself was an expedition. We navigated treacherous mountain passes, crossed arid plains, and battled conditions that would make most people turn back. The local community, initially wary, became invaluable allies, sharing stories passed down through generations. The atmosphere at base camp was electric. Every evening around the crackling fire, theories would fly. The day we finally broke through was one I'll never forget. It wasn't dramatic like in the movies, no giant stone door creaking open. It was painstaking work. The ground-penetrating radar had given us tantalizing glimpses, fuzzy images of something massive, something geometric buried deep. After weeks of careful methodical excavation clearing away layers of soil and rock deposited over millennia, we hit it. Not gold, not treasure, but stone. A perfectly flat, impossibly smooth stone surface unlike anything found naturally in this region. Dr. Thorne supervised the clearing of a wider area. We soon realized this wasn't just a single slab. It was the top of a structure, a roof of some kind, disappearing into the earth. The team worked with renewed vigor, their movements precise, their faces a mixture of awe and intense concentration. We had to find an entry point, a way into this subterranean mystery. After several more days of careful digging along the perimeter, we found it, a narrow, almost hidden passage deliberately sealed. The first descent was led by Thorne, a couple of structural engineers, and myself, armed with lights, cameras, and a healthy dose of trepidation. The passage was tight, sloping downwards into the darkness. One of the first and most critical tasks was to date this incredible find. Geologists and archaeophysicists swarming the place, taking samples from the stones themselves, from the mortar used between some of the blocks, and from organic material found trapped within the structure. We needed answers. When was this place built? The local geology suggested an ancient landscape, but how ancient? The anticipation for the lab results was almost unbearable. When the initial carbon dating results came back from organic materials found embedded deep within the structure, a stunned silence fell over the camp. Then came the optically stimulated luminescence, OSL, dating on the surrounding sediments, confirming when these stones were last exposed to sunlight before being buried. The dates were, well, they were impossible. We ran them again and again. Different labs, different samples. The results remained consistent. This structure wasn't just old. It was ancient beyond our wildest speculations, predating known advanced civilizations in the region by thousands, perhaps tens of thousands of years. It was a real head-scratcher. Now let's talk about the tool marks. This is where things get really wild. You see, when ancient people worked stone, they left behind telltale signs of their methods. Hammerstones, chisels made of harder rock, copper, or bronze. These tools leave characteristic marks, indentations, and patterns that archaeologists are very familiar with. We expected to find these. We were prepared for them. What we found instead, on many of the hardest granite blocks deep within the structure, were marks that simply didn't add up to the supposed technological level of the era suggested by its incredible age. Some surfaces were almost glassy smooth, polished to a degree that would be challenging even with modern power tools. We found perfectly circular holes drilled into dense rock, some incredibly deep and narrow, with internal rifling marks suggesting a rotary drill moving at high speed and with immense, consistent pressure. How do you achieve that with primitive hand tools? Then there were the cuts, long, straight, and incredibly thin, as if a giant saw had sliced through the stone like butter. We brought in engineers, stonemasons, experts in ancient technologies, and they were all stumped.
So picture this, you're an ancient builder. According to our current history books, your toolkit consists of stone hammers, maybe some copper chisels if you're lucky, and a lot of muscle power. Now your task is to quarry, transport and assemble multi-ton stone blocks, fitting them together with hair's breadth precision to create a massive underground complex. How do you do it?
That's the billion-dollar question we were facing every single day as we explored this incredible structure. The sheer scale of the endeavor was mind-boggling, almost defying belief when considering the supposed limitations of the era. Think about the logistics, first quarrying these colossal blocks. Some of them were sourced from rock types found miles away. How were they cut from the mountainside with such accuracy? And then, how were these behemoths, some weighing as much as a blue whale, transported across rugged terrain, without modern cranes, without heavy machinery, without even, supposedly, the wheel in some of the proposed earlier timelines? We're talking about moving city bus-sized chunks of rock. Shaking the foundation's new chapters in ancient history. This discovery isn't just about finding an old building. It's about potentially rewriting the very first chapters of human civilization. Think about it. Our established timelines, the ones you learn in school, paint a picture of a gradual, linear progression. Humans start as hunter-gatherers, then develop agriculture, then form small settlements which grow into cities, and eventually complex civilizations emerge with monumental architecture and advanced knowledge. But what if that neat, orderly timeline is wrong, or at least incomplete? Illuminating the depths, future tech, and lost worlds. So where do we go from here? We've got this colossal, ancient enigma on our hands. We've barely scratched the surface, literally. The next phase of exploration is going to be all about leveraging cutting-edge technology to peer deeper into the unknown without causing unnecessary damage. One of the most exciting tools in our arsenal is LiDAR, light detection and ranging. Imagine being able to create a hyper-accurate three-dimensional map of the entire underground complex, revealing hidden chambers, passages, and structural details that are currently inaccessible or too dangerous to explore physically. A global enigma uniting minds in a quest for answers. You know what's truly amazing about a mystery like this? It transcends borders, it goes beyond politics, beyond cultural differences. The discovery of this underground stone structure isn't just a national treasure for the country it's found in, it's a human heritage site. It speaks to something fundamental about our shared past and our innate curiosity as a species. The questions it raises: who built this? How? Why? These are questions that resonate with people all over the world. It ignites a sense of wonder, a desire to understand our place in the grand sweep of history. This unifying potential is already becoming evident. Scientists and researchers from diverse fields and various countries are expressing keen interest, offering their expertise, and proposing collaborative projects. Suddenly, geologists are talking to mythologists, engineers are consulting with linguists, and archaeologists are working hand-in-hand with astrophysicists to explore potential astronomical alignments. Beyond the horizon, redefining humanity's dawn. Ultimately, a discovery like this ancient underground stone structure does more than just add a new site to the archaeological map. It has the profound potential to redefine our understanding of ancient history and, by extension, our perception of human capability itself. For so long, we've been comfortable with a certain narrative of our origins, a steady climb from primitive beginnings to modern sophistication. This find shatters that comfortable image. It suggests that the story of humanity might be far grander, more complex, and perhaps even more cyclical than we've ever conceived. Imagine what it means if highly advanced societies existed, flourished, and then vanished long before the recognized dawn of civilization. It means that human ingenuity, the capacity for monumental undertakings, for sophisticated engineering, and perhaps even for advanced scientific understanding, isn't just a recent development. It could be an inherent part of the human story, recurring throughout vast stretches of time, sometimes lost to cataclysm or the slow decay of ages, only to re-emerge later. This perspective offers a much deeper, more awe-inspiring view of our species' journey on this planet.